Hello and welcome. I'm here today with YesWelder's MIG-250 Pro. We're going to go over what you get when you order it, what's included, the machine and all of its features, and there are a bunch, so stay tuned, and then we're going to do a little bit of welding with it. YesWelder's MIG-250 Pro welds gas MIG, gasless MIG, lift TIG, and stick. This machine successfully welds steel, stainless steel, and aluminum. So it can do a lot of different welding projects, which makes it great for your home shop or professional shop. So let's dive into what you get when you order YesWelder's MIG-250 Pro. You get the machine itself. You get the MIG gun. You get the gas hose to hook up your gas for MIG welding. You get the liner, so if you're going to weld aluminum, this is spool gun compatible. If you get the spool gun, you're going to weld aluminum, you're going to need to put this through the spool gun. This is included, which is super nice. You get the ground clamp. You get the electrode holder for stick welding. If you do want to do lift TIG, that is a separate purchase you can make for the lift TIG torch on YesWelder.com. For the MIG, you get the drive rollers, and you get them in different sizes. So depending on what size you want to run of wire, you're going to have all the different drive rollers. And we're going to go into how to swap, change, and how to choose a drive roller here in a little bit. And then you also get the tips for the MIG gun, again in different sizes, and we'll go over those, how to change those in and choose which one is correct here in a bit. But first things first, we need to put some wire in the machine so we can start MIG welding. So let's dive into the internals on the machine. The first step is to install some welding wire. So I have with me some YesWelder ER70S-6 030 welding wire. We're going to open up the side of the machine here and talk about how to put it in. So first things first is we're going to remove this retaining nut, and keeping in mind this is a left-hand thread, so you spin it to the right to take this off. We are going to get our tensioner down and the top roller off. Now here's where we're going to get into drive rollers. This little knob right here, we're going to have to take this off, unscrew this, and behind that is where our drive roller is. Our drive roller has to match the size wire we're using. So we're using 030. So we can see on our drive roller, it says right here. So we're using the correct drive roller. Drive rollers come with two different slots, and when we're using gasless MIG, we're actually going to use a different drive roller, but we're using solid wire, so this is the correct one. It's smooth, and we're going to put it in and making sure that the notch here lines up correctly. Slide it back in and put our retaining screw back on. All right, so let's talk about how to get this spool of wire into the machine. The wire is usually hooked into a side here, and we want to be really careful that we don't ever let the wire go, because it's going to just unravel, making the spool useless, and we have to start over. So we're going to be very careful once we unhook it that we're not going to let go of the loose end. I'm holding it with my finger right there. We're going to chop the bent end. And we're going to install it so the wire feeds off the bottom, right? So here we have the wire. It's going to be feeding off the bottom when we put it in. And we're going to slide it into the drive rollers here. You see it going through there. And then we're going to make sure it goes in there, because that is what's going to feed it into the gun itself. Close the drive roller. The tension clamp on it, and now once the drive roller is closed and the tension clamp is up, you can let go. This is totally safe now. Now the last step is just going to put this retaining back on, and remember this is a left-hand thread, so this is going to be lefty-tighty, not righty-tighty. And we're good to go. Here you have the front of the machine, and we're going to go over where to put what here. So MIG is a DCEP process, direct current electrode positive, so we're going to take this guy and put it into the positive, keeping in mind the notch, turn it to the right. Now we're going to take our MIG gun here and put it into the front and screw it in. I'm going to put our ground clamp in the negative. And now we need to get the wire to feed through, keeping in mind we just installed the wire, right? And the end of the wire is about right here. So we're going to hit the inching button on the machine. And what that's going to do is feed the wire through the liner inside of the MIG gun and then out the end. All right, so we are using 030 wire, so we need to put the correct tip on this. So we're gonna find the tip that says 030 and simply slide it on and screw it in. Followed by... All right, now this MIG gun is ready to weld, but the machine is not. So what we have to do next is set drive roll tension. Drive roll tension is changed by turning this knob clockwise, increasing tension, or counterclockwise, decreasing tension. Now, you know you have the right tension, and the tension is going to be different for different size wire, is when you pull the trigger and the wire's coming out and you pinch it, if you can hold it and where it won't come out anymore like this. So we're holding it, that's too light, that's too little tension. So we're going to increase the tension a little bit. Try it again. Pinching the wire. I can still stop the wire with my fingers. We're going to increase the tension. All right, so now I'm pinching as hard as I can. The wire's still going through, but just barely. That is the correct tension for your drive roller. Let's talk about drive roller tension importance for just a moment, because it's kind of overlooked sometimes. If you're using solid wire like we are right now, 030 solid wire, if I don't have enough tension on the drive roller, then we're going to get an inconsistent feed on the wire, right? Because the drive roller is going to be slipping and the wire it's not going to have enough grip on it to actually push it through, right? If we have too much tension on the drive roller, those drive rollers are actually going to deform the wire, and the wire's not going to travel through the liner in the gun and out the end very well. And it's going to get pinched, and then you're going to have, again, inconsistent feeding. So having proper drive roller tension is a vital step to the MIG welding process and making sure your machine is operating at its optimal. And the last setup we have to do is hook up the gas. We're going to take the gas hose and simply thread it into the back of the machine. And using 2 wrenches, make sure it's nice and tight. You really don't want any gas leakage, just for expenses. There we go. All right, now let's talk about all the features on the front of the machine and setting it up to weld. Going over the display panel and features on the MIG-250 Pro, let's start with the mode button. The mode button is where we're going to switch between the processes that this machine can do. The first one here is manual MIG. So this is like your more standard MIG setup on a welder, where you're going to pick your values and go from there. If we click mode again, we're going to get to synergic MIG. So this is like smart MIG. So we're going to put in our gas type, our wire size, and it's going to kind of pick the parameters as to what is going to be the best and get the best quality weld. Once we're here, we can then see we're changing. So flux, so if we're going to do gasless, 100% argon for aluminum, so if you're aluminum welding, then argon gas. This is going to be if you're doing a ferrous steel, so like regular carbon steel, and you're running straight CO2. And lastly, this is going to be for a argon CO2 mix 7525, which is the most common for MIG. It's what we're running today. Ferrous steel or 100% argon stainless steel. And then we're going to pick our wire size, 035, 030, or 023. As we found earlier, we are running 030, so we're going to set that just like that. And then lastly, here on the right, we're going to have the volts button. In MIG welding, as we all know, we can choose our amps, which is going to be done with the knob right here, and we can adjust our volts, which is going to be right here. And we can either go a little bit hotter or a little bit less. Again, we're on that synergic setting, so it's this is directly related to how the machine is set up for the information we've provided.
Now the last customizable setting in Synergic is, you can get there by pushing the middle button, and you can change the inductance, the trigger setting, hot start, and burn back time. These are all set based on the parameters that you've entered. However, if you do want to customize it, they got your back and you can do it.
All right, so we've got the MIG-250 Pro set up. We've got an open corner weld here to do. So let's put our gloves on and see what happens. Super dialed in right from the start. All I did was set the amps, the Synergic mode on this machine, took care of the rest, and we got a great quality weld without spending hours trying to figure out settings and wire feed speed and volts and all that kind of stuff. Really just getting in, getting down, and getting to welding. Now, let's change the machine over to Gasless MIG and give that a spin. To set up for Gasless MIG, we're gonna have to take the solid wire out, and if you do it correctly, you can actually save the spool. Remembering this is left-hand thread. You actually save the spool for later. So remembering that once we cut this and there's no tension on it, this whole thing can unravel. So I'm gonna kind of hold this over with my pinky finger there. I'm gonna cut it right here and poke it back and fold it over that hole, right? But I wanna keep tension of it moving this way, so it doesn't unravel. So I'm gonna do that, grab it, and then stick it through the hole. There we go. And bend it back and over to ensure it doesn't unravel. Now this spool can be taken off and reused again. Now keep in mind, we still have the wire in the torch itself, right? So we're gonna have to take tension off the drive rollers and then grab our gun and pull it through. I always pull it from the gun end, so that way wire is always going through the lining in the same direction. All right. And the last step is we're gonna have to switch the drive roller. So flux wire actually uses a drive roller with grooves in it, not smooth. So here we have our flux cord wire from YesWelder, and as you'll notice, it doesn't look like it's gonna fit. What I love about YesWelder is that they always make everything so you can change it over with very minimal tools. Very easy. So all we're gonna do is take this nut off, slide this off, and now we have the smaller inside that our flux roll is gonna fit right onto. So exactly like solid wire with flux core, we want to make sure that this is on in the correct direction. We want to spin off the bottom, in through the drive rollers and into the gun without unspooling. So we've got to make sure that we're holding on to this like so. If I let go, this whole thing unravels. So I'm making sure I'm holding the wire and the spool. Clip this end so it doesn't get snagged in the lining. Send it through here. Through there. Just like.
Alright, so to get from Synergic solid core to Synergic flux, all we have to do is click the material, head down to flux right here, and now we are good to go.
Alright, so we're in gasless mode. We've got the flux core wire in the machine. Let's lay down now and finish this open corner with some gasless MIG. Super simple switch over, great running welds on gas and gasless MIG, but this machine does more, and some of that is lift TIG, so let's swap on over to that and give it a try.
Now, like I said, TIG is DCEN, so this is a DCEP setup, so we're going to remove the connectors here. And the ground clamp is going to go into the positive side. And the TIG torch that you have to purchase separately from YesWelder.com is going to go into the negative side. After that, we are going to connect the TIG gas hose to our argon bottle.
We've got the machine set up here on the front for lift TIG. Your gas is plugged in. We've got the lift TIG torch. We're running DCEN, direct current electrode negative. Now lift TIG works a little different than say torch or pedal TIG, because to start the arc, we're going to touch the tungsten to the metal, pull it away, and the arc will ignite. To stop the arc, we merely pull our torch further away, breaking the arc. We have a butt joint here, which is pretty common for TIG welding because it's normally done on thinner materials, thinner sheets, a lot of times butt to butt. Rule is 1 amp per thousandths, but because this is a butt joint, the edges melt faster than the middle, say on a lap joint. So we're gonna run a little under 120, roll it and see how it goes. Great looking little lift TIG weld. The versatility of the MIG-250 Pro is really what sets this machine above and beyond a lot of its competitors. However, there's still one process left to shoot on the MIG-250 Pro, and that is stick welding. To set this machine up for stick, we're going to put the ground clamp into the negative, paying attention to the little notches, and the electrode holder into the positive. Now let's head up and click over on the digital display to get from lift TIG to stick.
We're in lift TIG mode right now, but we want to get over to stick, so we're going to click the mode button to get over to stick. We have our amps control right here, and if we want to fine tune it a little bit, we can click the middle to change our dig, change our hot start, and to turn VRD on or off. VRD is the voltage reduction device, so when we're not welding, it temporarily lowers the risk of electrocution. You can turn that on or off to your discretion. So let's lay down some stick welds.
The MIG-250 Pro from YesWelder, a great multi-purpose machine doing gas MIG, gasless MIG, lift TIG, and stick. For more information on this machine and other machines YesWelder makes, please visit YesWelder.com. And until next time, enjoy welding with YesWelder.